Hello there, my name is ChitChad. Welcome back to a new episode of Planet Coaster here on the channel for the Super Mario theme park that we are building. We're going to be giving a little bit of a break for the Luigi's Mansion Dark Ride, seeing as it's in a pretty good place right now. The remaining elements is going to be mostly scenery and the animations that I've talked about on previous episodes, so I wanted to take this opportunity to move on and work on other parts of the park, which includes this bobsled coaster that we started working on several episodes back. This coaster is going to incorporate multiple ice and snow levels from Mario. There's going to be a little bit of Odyssey, a little bit of Mario 64, a little bit of Mario Kart 8, and some of the older Mario games, kind of all mixed in together. I'm really excited to start working on this. I won't lie, because I've been away from Planet Coaster for so long, I am a little bit rusty, so it's kind of like getting back into the swing of things for this episode. But this actually was part of a very large recording session for me. And I've got a lot of stuff done, so I'm really excited to share it all with you. And I do realize it's been quite a while since I have posted any Planet Coaster content, but if this is the kind of thing where you check in for these videos, it would be awesome. Just check out some of the other videos on the channel. I've been uploading pretty regularly for the past 2-3 weeks or so with new series and returning series such as Jurassic World Evolution, some new series including Hollow Knight. We're also playing Enter the Gungeon, which is really fun, and one of the other returning series is Bendy and the Ink Machine, seeing as Chapter 5 came out not too long ago. So feel free to check those out. I'd really appreciate it. Help support the channel in between the Planet Coaster content. But like I was saying, it's been a while since I have uploaded or created anything inside of Planet Coaster, so much so that we've gotten a new DLC pack, which is the World's Fair pack, in between episodes. So you can already see I'm utilizing some of those new pieces, which I absolutely love. The World's Fair pack is fantastic. It added so many new things that I've just really felt like they've been missing. So not only am I going to be utilizing a lot of those new pieces for this build, but the next build that we're working on, which is going to be the Bowser's Kingdom, which is going to be very heavily inspired by Mario Odyssey. That's going to be utilizing a lot of the Japanese style building pieces that we have now available in this game, whereas before you'd have to make all of that custom, which was the large part why I never finished the Kung Fu Panda area in my very first park that I ever built in Planet Coaster, which was the DreamWorks park, just because honestly it was very difficult to make those pieces. They're so stylistic, and it's very easy to get those wrong. And there are a few Planet Coaster builders out there that are fantastic at emulating that style. Even before we had those pieces available, I just couldn't wrap my head around it. So I'm really glad that we have those pieces available now, which is super fantastic. So one of the things I wanted to build right off the gate to kind of get the style in mind for this build was the penguins themselves, which I styled very heavily from the Mario 64 models. Of course, cuting them up just a little bit, kind of keeping in mind that they've been modernized since then, so they don't quite have those oddly shaped heads, but I still try to give them that style. I did notice that these penguins make an appearance in the new Mario Party. It's one where you kind of have to get all the little penguins to, you gotta like herd them into one spot. It's a fun mini game. Mario Party, the new Super Mario Party, is just really fun in general, and I really want to play it on the channel. I think that'd be a lot of fun. As Mario's been crushing it lately, man. Just with I've been playing, well, obviously I played Mario Odyssey, I played Super Mario Party, and then I played Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle, which is a fantastic game. It's probably one of my favorite games of this year, to be honest with you. It's just so good. And I think it came out, I don't know, I feel like it came out a while ago and I just now got to it, but I love that game. It's fantastic. Oh, speaking of Mario Odyssey, so this is a little bit of, background into some of the happenstances that occurred on the channel when I was filming with my good buddy Jacob. I don't know what it is about Jacob and myself, man. We have the worst luck when it comes to recording content for the channel, and it happens so often. We have lost audio, we've lost full videos, our videos have gotten corrupted, and it happens all the time. And that was the case with like 4 or 5 of the Mario Odyssey episodes past episode 2. Like, they all were corrupted in weird ways. Some of them the frames were ramping up, some of them they were ramping down. We were losing whole sections of the video, and I don't know, I think I talked about this on a previous episode, but it's such a bummer because I was really genuinely happy with how those episodes were turning out. Like the content that we were providing was really good. We had some really funny banter with each other and playing Mario Odyssey, and it's just such a bummer. I'm trying to find a way to fix or clean up those episodes as best I can, because I really enjoyed the content. So I'm hoping that maybe we'll get that sometime in the near future. But also Jacob and another buddy of mine from another channel I used to be on called the Super Geek Friends, Dustin. So the three of us are working on a project together that I don't want to talk about too much until it's really off the ground, but we're probably going to be making content together, and I'm really looking forward to it, because I'm hoping that it goes off without a hitch, because Jacob and I have some, like, I don't know, there's some bad mojo going on there. Like, I always have to double, triple check everything whenever he comes over, because I'm just like, I don't know what's going on. Why is the footage not working? Why are the cameras not working? It's everything you could possibly imagine. So hopefully we get all that ironed out, which is another reason why on some of the newest episodes I've gone without camera feed, just because it's a lot easier for me to sit down and record a game and not have to worry about lighting of the room, making sure that the camera settings are all, you know, copacetic and ready to go. But I do turn the camera on for reactionary type content. So like scary games, for example, it makes sense to have a camera, because oftentimes I'm freaking out because I don't like playing scary games that much. Bendy's an exception because I really like the aesthetic. So much so that I would love to make a Planet Coaster project around that game. I think it's a fantastic source material for such a thing, especially now that I'm playing it on Chapter 5, which has been really fun so far. I haven't gotten very far into it. In fact, I had to go and replay what I had already played because my save file wasn't loading for some reason. It was really weird, and I'll probably talk about that in one of the episodes coming up. So it's behind the scenes stuff. I don't even know why I'm talking about this. You don't care about this. You want me to talk about Planet Coaster. So I'm really happy with how this penguin turned out. We're going to be making several new characters for this ride. I don't think it's going to happen this episode. Probably happens in the next one. We'll be making Shy Guys and Toads. I do eventually want to make like Yoshis, so I can add them over into the Yoshi coaster. That's really the only thing that's missing. Besides, I do need to do one more animation, which I think someone's brought up before, that I do need to finish one of the animations for the Yoshi coaster. It was supposed to be them all celebrating at the end and jumping up and down, and it was going to be a really easy animation because it's essentially just one Yoshi jumping up and down, and then I alter the timing to make them all look like they're jumping at different intervals and then change the color on them, which is kind of what I did for the run cycle and walk cycle for the Yoshis at the beginning of the ride. So that's still something that's on my radar. Once I jump back into animating, I'm currently doing an animation for the Studio Park, which is going to be a Miko animation based off of Steamboat Willie, and I'm really excited for how that's turning out. It's been a lot of fun. I'm still trying to wrap my head around emulating the style, and I think I've got it so far. It's not going to be 100%, you know, traditional, just because that would take way too long for me to do. So it is going to be digitally done, obviously, but I'm going to try my best to kind of simulate that style as much as possible. But I am happy with how it's turning out so far, because after that, then I'm going to work on the Luigi's Mansion stuff, and then after that, I'll probably jump on the Yoshi stuff and wrap that up. So I'm going to try my best to avoid doing hardcore animations like that for the remainder of the Mario Park build, just because this project's gone on for quite a while, and I do really want to wrap it up as soon as possible because there are other things that I want to do. And a lot of people keep messaging in about different areas that I could add to the park, which is there's a lot of really solid, awesome ideas. But eventually the Mario project has to come to a close, unfortunately. So after this, like I said, we'll work on the Bowser's Kingdom, which I've already gotten partway through, and I'm really happy with how it's turning out. And then, of course, there's going to be the Mushroom Kingdom, which is going to be the Mario Kart ride. And then I'm probably going to do just like a little mini Sunshine area. And that's going to be based around the Sunshine Star Wheel that I made in the previous video game theme park. So that's probably going to be kind of it for the Mario Park. And it's not just because I want to wrap it up. It's also because my computer's chugging with this project. There's a lot of pieces going on. There's just a lot of content in this park. And my computer is having a hard time keeping up with it and the recording software at the same time. Normally I can run at a solid 30 frames per second, but with this park now, we're dropping down into like 22 frames sometimes. So The more we add to this, the worse it's gonna get until I upgrade my computer, which isn't gonna be for quite a while because we're saving money because we're buying a house, being adults and buying houses and moving, which is all good. Good things for me, honestly. I can't wait to be in a house and away from an apartment. It means I'm gonna be able to record more. It means I'm gonna be as loud as I wanna be without upsetting neighbors. Unless I'm super duper loud, then I'll upset the house neighbors. But I doubt that's gonna happen, but I'm really excited for it. It's gonna be awesome. I wanted to pull up some, there's actually a bunch of news lately in the theme park world, such as the new Harry Potter coaster that was taking over the Fire and Ice Dragon Challenge coaster, which was a rethemed of the Fire and Ice Dragon coaster over at Universal Studios in Florida's Islands of Adventure. I went on the original Ice and Fire Dragon back when it was just kind of like a medieval themed area, and I love those coasters. I'm not a huge fan of those styles just because I feel like your vision's obstructed a lot because of the car, just the way it's designed. You know, if you're not sitting up front, you're literally looking at the 4 people that are in front of you. The track's above you, so all you can do really is look down, which is fine if they have like stuff to look at. But just something about the Fire and Ice Dragons, just that themed area was really, really stinking cool. And then when they rethemed it to be Harry Potter, you know, it was still the same great ride. It was just, you know, they had more Harry Potter stuff, you know? So it's kind of a bummer to see it go, but I've seen what they are potentially going to be doing with the new coaster that's going to be put there, and I gotta say, if it's everything that I've read about, it's gonna be insane. Like, the coaster has a drop segment where the whole, like, if what I've read is to be true, I'm not 100%. I saw it on one of the coaster sites that I visit, and there was something about like a drop section where the track itself drops like an elevator shaft type thing, and then it connects to another section of track, and then you move forward. And there was also a section that said that you'd be going in reverse at some point. So there was just a lot of stuff going on with that ride, and if it is what it is, it's gonna be stinking cool. I can't wait. I remember riding the Mummy for the first time. I think the first time I rode it, it was the version that's in Florida, which in my honest opinion is the better version just because they had more room to work with. The one in Florida utilized the original King Kong ride attraction, which was a huge building just because it had King Kong in it, for crying out loud. Of course it had to be huge. And the one in California used the original ET building, which wasn't as big of a ride. That ride was super condensed because it was a dark ride. Just imagine kind of like a upscale Peter Pan. It's very similar in concept. So they didn't have as much room. So the ride itself feels shorter and it doesn't have as many impressive technical feats as the one in Florida does. For example, you go in reverse. Actually, that is the difference. You don't go in reverse as long in the Florida version, but there's like a turntable, and you see Imhotep's face kind of follow you as you're turning and locking in place for what I believe is a magnetic launch system, like into his mouth, and then goes the rest of the dark themed ride, which cheapens up a little bit because they basically use like scrims and flashing lights to show ghosts and stuff, which is kind of a bummer. But it also has a really cool fake out segment where you believe you're pulling into an exit station, but it's actually not. And then the whole ceiling catches on fire, and then you do like a dive into this red mist and it takes your photo. Very impressive. The California version doesn't really have all that, but you go backwards half the ride. So, you know, plus and minuses, I guess. It does also have, I believe both of them have the cool segment, but I think Florida does it a little bit better where you're at the end of the ride and all the smoke fills up the room, and then there's this blinding flash of light, and then a door opens very quickly, but it's obscured through the light and the smoke, so it just looks like an entry appears, and it's the actual exit to the ride. And it's very impressive because if they time it right, which the last time I was on it, it was timed right, you don't see the door open. You just see, oh, it was dark and now suddenly we're in the exit. It's very, very cool. It reminds me a lot of the effect that they had over in the Star Trek experience in Las Vegas. It's no longer there, which is unfortunate, but it was very, very cool where you were beamed onto the Enterprise, but you didn't really see the transition. You were just in a room, you got beamed up, then you're on the engineering level of the Enterprise. Very, very cool. So you might notice we jumped into Photoshop for a split second. Just wanted to reskin one of the block textures that we made for the Yoshi and Toad Town area of the Mario Park. So you see we're dropping in the OG version of the brick, and then we're gonna drop in the gray version. We'll eventually add some snow and stuff to it. I just wanted to give this section just a bit more Mario-esque character to it, just because there's so much wood just all over the place from this style of coaster, which I really want to ride one of these things. They look really, really fun. There's like none near me in Arizona, and basically if I were to travel to most of the places that would have them, it would be literally just to go to that theme park. You know, it's not like I would go to those places for any other reason, but I would like to try one of these out because they just look like fun. When I first saw this track system, I was thinking, you know what? This would be a really good one to use for a Sonic style coaster, because in the original, not the original Sonic, but Sonic 2, the special stages to get the Chaos Emeralds was that half pipe. So I thought that would be really, really fun. And if I ever do another Sonic themed thing, I might try that out just to utilize this coaster again, because it's got a lot of potential. It's cool. It reminds me kind of the same effect that you kind of get with the new minecart, the 7-Doors minecart, where because of the momentum you could be taking a really sharp left turn, but because they're on a pivot, the cars are going to swing out to the right just because of the momentum. And it's just like, whoa, wasn't expecting that. It's just, it's cool. It's cool stuff. So yeah, the Harry Potter area is going to be super cool. They're just going to keep adding to that, man. It's insane. I also saw that there's talks about rebooting the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise. Now, I know that's not really theme park news, but seeing as that's a movie that's based off a ride, then the ride sort of then made itself more like the movie, I'm curious what they mean by reboot, and if they're gonna reboot it, I don't think they need to. Just let it be what it was. It was already 2 movies too long. I love the first one. The first one is fantastic. And I've been seeing the videos from the newest version of the Pirates of the Caribbean ride, which I believe is that the Shanghai Disneyland? Shanghai Disneyland, is that where it's at? I believe. I'm looking it up right now. Hold on, I'm at the computer. Pirates of the Caribbean. Yeah, it's that version of the ride. It's super cool. It's entirely based off the movies. Very little to do with the original version of the ride, but it utilizes a lot of really, really stinking cool technology. There is a scene where it's very classic. That is one of the scenes that's very heavily based off the ride, where it's just a skeleton holding, you know, on the ship, just holding steady, and then a light shines through and you see Jack just emerge as a full-on animatronic. It's a very cool effect. And looks like we're actually getting towards the end of today's episode. We're going to continue in the next episode just theming up this ride, this attraction, with more characters. We're also going to be doing some exterior lighting, so lots of things to come. Thank you all so much for watching. I genuinely appreciate it. And as always, I will chat with you on the next episode.